in a climb. It suffered all of its strength in the fall. Sometimes when he got into fighting, man, he could fight with you all day long. He was a good man, and now he's gone.
M. Ward is a folky person from Portland, Oregon. He sings, he writes songs, he plays the guitar, and his career started in 1999. He has had 11 solo albums so far. He's also part of a duo called She and Him. I presume he's the him. And the she is Zooey Deschanel, who's an actress. They've been working together since 2006 and have 6 albums. And M is for Matthew. Hi, my name is Dan. So this was M. Ward's 5th album. It's my first time listening to it, but I have reviewed another of his albums in this series, which was the Transfiguration of Vincent. And as I do as a habit, if I don't remember what I've said about a previous album by the same person, I try and resist the temptation to go back and look at that review until I've actually written particularly the score, but everything else that I'm going to say for a review. And that was the case in this on this occasion. And it's the second time I've been saying that tonight because I tend to record 2 or 3 of these back to back. And what was I going to say there? Yes, so I gave Transfiguration of Vincent 8. I'm not going to give this one quite so high. And I think in reflection, it is reasonable to say that I wasn't as taken with it as Transfiguration of Vincent, but I still liked it. So it's folk rock in a kind of American way, which seems to me, there might be finer points to this, but it seems to me that if you're playing predominantly an acoustic guitar, then in America that counts as being folk rock or folk. It's kind of stripped back anyway. It's based around the acoustic guitar and voice, but there are other sounds in here. There are things like drums, electric guitars, mandolins, all sorts of other things actually thrown in at various points. It's kind of lo-fi in a way, in the way it's recorded, but not in a bad way. It just, feels like it's got a little bit of a gritty feel to it as a result. Musically, there's definitely an Americana twinge to it. Occasionally, even, it's got a feeling of tiny edge of country creeping in there, not in a bad way. The singing, his singing gets quite gravelly at times. Occasionally I'm going, who does that remind me of? But I'm often doing that with voices. I'm just going to, on this occasion, I'm not going to torture myself trying to remember who it is. Snatches of a song. Anyway, let's move on. Mostly it's quite laid back and understated. It's certainly not music that gets in your face. It's not aggressive in any way. There's some interesting songwriting, so this was definitely the case in the previous album by M. Ward as well. It doesn't surprise me that there's some what I would say is good songwriting on here. It's mostly about people and relationships with people. Mostly it doesn't seem to be particularly romantic. It seems to be, it's probably coincidental that I've picked up that there are 2 tracks that are negative about women and 2 tracks that are positive about men that I particularly picked up here. I'm sure he's not, that's not deliberate. I'm going to pick out some song titles particularly that I enjoyed, but I'm not going to talk about what they're about. So Right in the Head, Requiem, Magic Trick, and Roller Coaster, I think, are probably my 4 favourite tracks on the album. But there's a lot to pick from here. There's quite a lot of good stuff going on. So I enjoyed it. As I said, it didn't impress me quite as much as Transfiguration of Vincent, but it's still a strong album. Or at least I think so. That's my opinion. What's your opinion? Please tell me what you think of this album by writing that in the comments box. And that's it from me for now.
People come, people go. Sometimes without goodbye, sometimes without hello. She's got one magic trick, just one